After 40 years in the wilderness and the death of Moses, the time had finally come. The Lord chose Joshua to lead the children of Israel into the Promised Land. Joshua had served faithfully as Moses' assistant and military commander, and now the weight of an entire nation rested on his shoulders. It was a daunting responsibility, and the Lord knew it. So the Lord spoke directly to Joshua with words of reassurance. He said, "Be strong and of a good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest." That promise in Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 was not just for Joshua. It was for every Israelite who had wondered whether God would still be with them now that Moses was gone. And it is for us today when we face our own uncertain crossings. Before they could enter the land, the Israelites faced the Jordan River at flood stage. The Lord commanded the priests to carry the Ark of the Covenant and step into the water first. Joshua chapter 3 verses 13 through 17 records that the moment their feet touched the river, the waters stopped flowing and the people crossed on dry ground. This miracle deliberately echoed the parting of the Red Sea, reminding the people that the same God who delivered their ancestors was still working wonders among them. Joshua commanded that 12 stones be taken from the middle of the river and set up as a memorial. In Joshua chapter 4 verse 6 through 7, he explained that when future generations asked what those stones meant, Israel could answer that the Jordan was cut off before the Ark of the Covenant, and these stones would be a reminder forever. In Joshua chapter 2, we meet Rahab, a woman of Jericho who had heard of the Lord's mighty works and believed. She hid the Israelite spies and helped them escape. In return, she tied a scarlet cord in her window as a sign that her household would be spared. The New Testament would later hold her up as a model of both faith and works in Hebrews chapter 11 verse 31 and James chapter 2 verse 25. The fall of Jericho is one of the most remarkable accounts in Scripture. The Lord gave Israel unusual instructions. March around the city once each day for 6 days. On the 7th day, march 7 times, then have the priests blow their trumpets and the people shout. This was not a conventional military strategy. It required pure obedience and trust. And when they followed those instructions exactly, Joshua chapter 6 records that the walls of Jericho fell flat. But then came Ai and a stunning defeat. One man named Achan had secretly taken forbidden spoils from Jericho, things the Lord had commanded be left alone. Because of that hidden sin, Israel lost the battle at Ai, and 36 men died. Joshua chapter 7 verse 13 captures the Lord's sobering message. There is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. When Achan confessed and the sin was removed, Israel defeated Ai in a second attempt. The lesson is clear. Hidden disobedience affects not just the individual, but the whole community. At the end of his life, Joshua gathered Israel together for his final words. In Joshua chapter 23 and 24, he reviewed all that God had done for them, warned them against intermarrying with surrounding nations and abandoning the Lord, and then issued one of the most memorable invitations in Scripture. Choose you this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua chapter 24 verse 15. The children of Israel answered that they too would serve the Lord. Joshua made a covenant with them, wrote it in the book of the law, and set up a stone as a witness. His life and his final words call each of us to the same choice he placed before Israel. We do not drift into covenant faithfulness. We choose it day by day with courage rooted not in our own strength, but in the Lord who is with us wherever we go.